Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and our porch chat, our place where we answer viewer questions, kind of give you an update on projects and things that are happening here at the nursery. Middle of August, lots of things have been happening going on while surviving the heat.
Yeah, a lot of projects going on right now. Just this week, it seems like one of the busiest weeks ever.
Yeah. The good thing about end of July and August and even in early September is that the weather can be a little unpleasurable because it's so hot and humid. So the customer traffic comes down a little bit. Although we are still getting tons, which is lovely, wonderful visitors, both local and far away that come see us, which we absolutely love and adore. But it does give us a little bit of an opportunity because we don't have to have as much staff at the nursery, so we can be have the nursery open, but also working on projects at the same time and just kind of float between things.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to a customer, just this week, and they were, they caught me down there. I had traveled in from Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it's, just the other day I was just moving back and forth so many times that, I was all over the place and not really down there.
Right.
Because we had so many things going on.
Right.
So then too, we've been able to take staff and do other projects and get things done and not have to be. Right. It's just that time of year when we do, but we're just as busy, even though we're not helping customers as much.
Right. It's just, our lives are always full. It just kind of transitions between, like in the spring, it's all focused on retail and garden center and customers. Yeah. And then as there are seasons for everything.
August for us is a lot of projects, even though it's hot. But we tend to always do a good bit of project type things in August, and then of course going into winter.
Well, it's true. So like for the production, facilities, because we're, installing a new greenhouse for production facilities. And this is really a great time, not only just for us, but any kind of construction. I mean, houses, any kind of thing, because typically it's drier, and with our lovely red clay soil, we don't want to. This is not the time to be moving soil or trying to do a foundation or anything like that. That is bad in the wintertime because it's so wet. Now's a great time to do it because it tends to be a lot drier, and you can really get your site prepped well.
Yeah. I know there's been, 3 videos out on that? Of the excavation for the pad. And so there's some good videos on that if you kind of like those type of things.
You like
if
big equipment and moving soil.
Big equipment, moving soil. So it's a good time to do that, nice and dry. And it's really dry right now.
It is.
So it's helped.
It has helped a lot. So that's good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? Proven Winter Signature Garden.
So I worked on that yesterday a little bit. We had some topsoil left over. Mm-hmm. You had to move the topsoil off. I think Jenny's mentioned that in another video before when you get ready to build a pad, because it can move around. They don't want it to move around on them. And so they bring in the clay that's really hard and it can compact it really well. Mm-hmm. So we used it in the signature garden. It was wet and clumpy, so I've taken it and I've just kind of spread it out real clumpy like, and just letting it dry. And I think if it sits in the sun for 2 or 3 days or more, easily I can just go back with the bobcat with the teeth and break it all up and then just kind of smooth it out. But it's just a good little base I've put in. I'm sure we'll be bringing in some more soil and the compost amendments and those type of things for all the different beds in the garden.
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten that on video. It happened on Saturday, so it was really, really busy.
Yeah.
As far as just it was just busy in the fact of 1,000 things were going on at the same time. So I was at the nursery working and working in the pines and doing things, and all of a sudden, here comes Jerry zooming in on the Polaris. And if you've been to the nursery, like coming down the road and then going along the creek past the shrub lot towards the signature garden, and here comes right behind him that big old rock truck. And when you have it out in the field, I mean, yes, it's big, right? But it's all about perspective. But man, that thing came whipping down here. Clearly, he knows what he's doing. These guys are professionals. Came whipping down across the creek in the culvert and shooting down. And I was just like, oh my gosh, is he going to make it? But they brought 3 loads of topsoil from that rock truck and
we had more. It just kind of got to a position where the water table is high over there, and the ground started moving like the ocean, you know. So I said, well, it's probably time for you to go.
We don't need a rock truck stuck or turned over or a
Yes.
sinkhole or anything like
Yeah,
that.
so then the bobcat broke, and it blew a belt, and it was dead in the water. So I had enough at that point. And
Yep.
so, but anyway.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think, on the nursery tour. And but man, bobcat's great. So they actually will come
Yeah, they
out
came right to me.
They will come
Yeah.
out to us, and he had it up and running. So you called them Monday morning, and they were out
Yes.
here Tuesday morning,
Yep.
and it was up and running in just a couple of hours.
Yep.
So big
It's
shout
easy.
out to, I guess, Bobcat Charlotte.
Yeah, Bobcat of Charlotte.
Yeah, fantastic service, and he just takes really great care of us. So those are the two main projects that are going on.
Two of the main projects going on that will continue to go on for some time.
Right, these are not short-term projects, clearly, and so
Yes.
these
So,
are.
Ordered the greenhouse and all that's within probably 4 weeks or so, maybe.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay. So, I'm sure we'll talk about some more stuff as we get into it about life and things, but those are the two main projects that are happening. Yeah. Okay. So, without further ado, we'll just get on into the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on to questions. I think this is a interesting question.
Yeah, it is. It is. And so these are in absolutely no particular order, right? So they're not video specific focused. We'll talk about the videos as, you know, but they're not. They're just kind of all over the place. These are the ones that we kind of found most interesting, and especially the first one. So the first one is dealing with when we were trenching the fiber line from the barn to the production facilities. So maybe in that we can talk about why we did that, because we've had some questions on that too.
Okay.
So Jaron Mason 1540 says, is that a cigarette, Jackson? I'm so surprised. So in the video, Jackson was, our 13-year-old son was helping us, you know, with the project, and I think this particular spot, he and I were walking the fiber line and rolling it out to go into the trench. And the day we were doing this, I mean, it's August in North Carolina. It's hot. The humidity is insane. No, that's not a cigarette. Jackson's smoking. Don't let our 13-year-old smoke. That's not even something that he's the least bit interested in. That was just the most random question ever. It was a popsicle stick. So I keep popsicles at the nursery for our employees. They're like fruit bar popsicles. And because it's hot and it cools us down and it's refreshing. So Jackson had a popsicle and he was like chewing on the stick. So not a cigarette.
It's weird.
It's a popsicle stick.
Those things happen, you know, from time to time with us on here. And, you know, thankfully, the majority of everyone that comments, we enjoy your comments.
We
because
do. But y'all make
they're
us laugh sometimes.
highly positive. I would say 98% of all comments are. But then we get, that was not a negative comment. It's just a weird comment.
It was just weird.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
Interesting.
Made us all go,
But anyway, back to the fiber line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the questions were about, but
Well, like, why did we have to run fiber? Why couldn't we use different services? Why?
well, we
what was
can't
the-
get service up there, so that answers that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we can't even get it to, like, if we had not gone to Spectrum and asked for a dedicated, we have a dedicated fiber line. The circuit's inside our home, and because of our business, and that's the only reason we have really super high-speed internet is because we just went out on a limb there,
Right,
you
it's a
know, and
business
pay the
move.
high dollars. So we have a dedicated line into our home. There's no one else on our fiber. So most that fiber line that we were running is not just one line. There's, think, 6 strands of fiber inside that line. I only need one, and most of the time only one can power half a neighborhood.
Right.
On fiber. So when you're on fiber in your neighborhood, you're on fiber along with other homes.
Mm-hmm.
We are not. So the line is a dedicated line all the way back to the mains, like almost an hour or more away from here.
Right. So just to give you an idea, and so the reason we did that is because, I mean, we upload 5 videos a week to
Yep.
YouTube. And so just to give you a little perspective, because I know most people are not uploading, videos to the internet, 5 times a week. So here at the house, I can upload, say, a 30-minute video, right? So what you see, this video, for example, let's say it's going to be about 30 minutes. It will take me about 4 minutes to upload it to the internet. We have gone other places when we're traveling and we try to upload it, and it will literally be like 10 hours. So, and that is not an exaggeration. So that is, and then sometimes it won't even do it. Like it can't handle it. So that kind of gives you a bit of a perspective of the power and why we have done what we have done. And so we can't get any other kind of internet up at production.
So
Even if you just cell service, forget it. You cannot get cell service.
It doesn't work well.
It does not work well at the barn.
For whatever reason, it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's just we have the circuit in our home, then we're on our own expense. The Spectrum, no other cable service is doing this for us. We're doing it ourselves along with our IT company.
Yes.
So we have fiber from the circuit from the house to the barn. There's a device there that it plugs into that carries it there, and then from that device we're using the fiber from there to the production facility, and then we'll connect there and then use our Wi-Fi or whatever Cat 5 cable and all that jazz to run the computers and timers and everything else.
Right.
It's just a upfront expense for us, but after that there's if I had gotten Spectrum to run another line from somewhere else, that means I have another service to pay for, so I don't have to do that.
Right. And by us doing it ourselves, like running that line, we saved thousands of dollars.
Oh, tens of thousands.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay, moving on now to a completely different subject. Kathy Phelps, 859, says, love your gardening advice and watching your nursery grow. Thank you very much. One thing, Jenny, how do you store all those caps you wear? I thought that was a funny question. Not funny as in like haha, but funny as in like how your brain thinks, because that's how my brain thinks. It's a great question. So yes, I do love ball caps because I wear them all the time. Even in the wintertime, I cannot stand to be outside gardening with my hair down. I don't like it. So today's a rare day that I actually have not a ball cap on. So great thing. So I think like a lot of people in the world, Amazon. Amazon is a great resource. So I was having ball caps all over the place. I mean, they were like falling off the shelves. They were everywhere. So I went to Amazon and I was like, ball cap organizer. So what it is this black Velcro. So you hang it on a hanger. So you use the Velcro, hangs on a hanger, and then underneath that runs the whole length of the hanger are little clips. So I just like, you can either clip it by the bill of the hat, or I just like fold my hat in, and then I'll do two. I have two of them, but I have so many hats and not enough room in my closet, so I'll double up my hats. And so they're in a nice little long line. So you just hang the hanger up, and there's this nice little way to organize your hats, and it's great. So
easy peasy.
Easy peasy for sure. So go to Amazon, hat organizer, ball cap organizer. It's great. Mike Wright 9163 says, do you ship outside the state / Arkansas? Well, Mike, coming your way soon.
Yes.
Because we've had a lot of questions about shipping and are we going to ship? Do we ship? Will we ship in the future? All those things. And the answer is yes, because that's why we're doing a lot of these big projects here, like running the fiber line. We have to have internet in order to source that business. That's one of the main reasons why we're building this new greenhouse to house not only expanding our inventory here at the nursery, we also grow all the plants that we put in the gardens here. So we've got to have room for that. Signature Garden requires more room, and then to supply the plants for our online sales.
Yeah, so online's on its way. We're cranking all the product that we're going to sell this fall is already there. You just can't see it yet. We're just trying to work out the pricing with shipping and getting all that figured out.
There's so much logistics on the back end.
And I don't have time to sit there and do it for all day long.
Yeah, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Right.
So yeah, and then they're slow and trying to get back with each other and this and that, and it takes forever, and the next thing you know we're 2 months down the road and we still haven't got a solution.
Right.
So we have pricing from one of the carriers already, so we can use that to try to come formulate the shipping so we can then pre-sale and then start shipping sometime in September.
Yep.
is the goal.
That's
we'll
the
see.
goal.
Yeah.
That is the goal. We'll see. And then in the spring
will
we'll
be
have annuals and perennials
Annuals,
and the shrubs.
perennials, and shrubs. All the gadgets, that would go along with that will be available
Right.
on the website.
Right. People were asking too, just as a side note, the shrubs will be quart size, and the perennials will be quart size, and then the annuals will be grande size.
Yes, and I think I had a question because someone did ask that question. It peels off of that is that I'm hoping they're going to be gallons. Well, I'm going to be truthfully like there's not that big a difference between a quick turn than a gallon. You're just going to have a little bit more root, really not that much to have to pay for more and more on shipping. So it's better for you if you're concerned about the size of the quick turn when it gets to the quart, is just to have a 10-inch or a 3-gallon pot maybe. Move it up, let it sit there for about 3 or 4 weeks. It'll start growing roots. It'll start growing really crazy. And then go and put it into your landscape. Maybe we'll do a little tutorial on that on our channel, and then have that attached to the website. I thought that would be something good.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. That would help you be more successful with the quart, because it is a good way to be able to get the shrub that you want, and at a good price. And there's really no need for us to ship a gallon.
Right. Okay. So Tammy Gannon, so this kind of peels off of, we've been talking a lot because we are moving very rapidly into fall. Oh, thank goodness. And so we talk about how fall is a fantastic time to plant shrubs, especially, here in the South, Southeast. For the vast majority of the country, in your warmer areas, I would say fall is a wonderful time to plant shrubs. So Tammy had a great question. She says, are there any shrubs that should not be planted in the fall? And my first thought is, it depends on when in the fall, like you're talking about early fall, talking about mid-fall, late fall. So I would just, initially the answer is shrubs that are very, they like it hot, and they do most of their active growing in the heat. Yeah. So, and it's going to depend on your zone. So the answer to that is going to depend on your zone. So my first thought was like Caryopteris. So Caryopteris loves the heat. It does not really like wet conditions. So for us, that would not be Caryopteris. I would not want to plant in, say, October or November. That's definitely one that you want to plant in June, July, 1st of August, so it can get established before the cold hits. Last year, we planted the berm, and the berm didn't even start until October. And then we planted all of our shrubs and trees, and they all did amazing. And I think they would have continued to do amazing if we hadn't gotten the blast at Christmas time of the cold air.
Which is a rare.
It is rare, but we lost all of our loropetalums. So loropetalums are a warm weather southern shrub. We lost all of those.
And we've planted.
But then I had camellias on the other side of the berm, and they were doing amazing. And camellias are a warm weather plant too. So I would just say, depending on your zone, if you can always do a plant, if your plant is 2 zones above and 2 zones below, so like we're a 7. So if I have a plant that's rated from a 5 to a 9, then really you can plant just about any time. But if, for Caryopteris, it's like right at a 7, I think. So that's a little iffy.
Yeah, just the stuff that wants it hot.
Yeah.
Or if it's a root-sensitive type plant, that the roots doesn't like to be disturbed or messed with. Or
like what would that be?
Like a butterfly bush.
Butterfly bush. Oh yeah, butterfly bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have planted so many landscapes in the fall. We've planted butterfly bushes and loropetalum.
And I had butterfly bushes in the berm, right there in front of the loropetalums, and they handled it like a champ.
I would say a high percentage of the time, those are all just fine.
Yeah.
Any kind of shrub is better planted in the fall. The fall should be one of your biggest planting seasons for trees and shrubs, and winter loving annuals. Like for us, annuals would be pansies and violas that we're putting in the ground, because we can grow those through the winter and into the spring in the same plot. So it's a big time to plant, but for some reason,
Like
it's
even
not
your
your largest
perennials,
sales.
yeah, like your hostas, your ferns, your bleeding hearts, your oh my gosh, baptisia,
Yeah, all that stuff.
all that kind of stuff. Great time to plant in the fall.
Yep.
Okay, going back to shipping, just for one quick question from Amanda Sides. She says, will you be selling only proven winners, or will you sell Monrovia and Southern Living?
So I did answer her question, and for the most part, that's what we grow. 100% all annuals are proven winners because that's what we believe in, and that's what I started doing back in 2014, and I'm just not going to come off that.
No. They have proven themselves to be absolute fantastic plants.
I've gone back and forth. We test things here and there, and every once in a while you get one, or two. There's certain little things, but sometimes it's not even worth the hassle of it. So, but Southern Living, maybe, because they are have some unique things for the South that are not available in the proven winner color choice line. Monrovia is more of a plant relabeler. They don't really have like
their own genetics.
Yeah, they do, but they don't. Is that you'll see, the same plant in a Monrovia pot and a Southern Living pot and a first edition pot. So that to me is just, I don't know. That's not what we're doing.
Right, and two, just so you know, we have always been driven from the day that this company was born, whether it was selling flowers, cut flowers at the farmer's market, or produce, or shrubs, trees, whatever. Our philosophy, our motto has always been, we sell only the highest quality and what really works here, talking about the plants in the South, and that are just proven winners. And I don't mean like proven winners as in like the company, but like they have proven themselves to be fantastic plants in our gardens. And so not only easy for us to grow as a retailer, as a grower, but also as a home gardener ourselves.
Yeah, and the thing too is we're given that certain group of plants, proven winter plants, for access to be able to purchase through online that you can't. You may not be able to find some plants at your local garden center.
Sure, right.
So you'll be able to get them from us, and then we'll be able to get them to your door. For instance, and go back to that Monrovia thing, and not to bash on them or anything, they're great people and they had great stuff, but Winter Gem, Winter Green, or Winter Gem, I forget which one they were, boxwood.
Right.
Winter Green, maybe. I think it's Winter Green. That's just you can grow that in a black pot. You do not
non-branded.
It's non-branded plant, but Monrovia puts their brand on it because it's a good plant. That's what they're saying. But then you
could get it from anybody.
You can get it from anyone. So that's what I was talking about, just to make that clarification.
So it's not going to be that we're going to be 100% exclusive proven winners as far as like the perennials and shrubs. We're definitely going to have non-branded perennials and shrubs on there.
I like that because there's great plants out there.
Because there's amazing plants out there. Right. Exactly.
Eventually, but it's going to be a while.
And as we do this, every year we will add to our inventory. Just like here at the nursery, we add to the inventory every year.
Yeah.
So we're setting this online, this e-commerce up for long-term success, and that this is going to be a business that's going to stay here for many, many years to come, and that we're doing it right from the beginning. Next question comes from Beth Gaither. She says, I'm so happy to see you expanding and love watching the progress. Question, is hibiscus hardy where you are? I'm just to the northeast of you in Winston-Salem. So we need to talk about this. So there can be some confusion sometimes with hibiscus, because when we just say hibiscus, basically there's two kinds of hibiscus. There's tropical hibiscus.
Yeah, the ones we're talking about.
And there's perennials. Right. So but we would need to clarify that, so I don't want people to get confused about that. Tropical hibiscus, where you see them, those really like glossy green leaves, you'll put them in a pot, you put them by your pool, whatever. Those are tropical, they're one season, they're annuals, not going to last the winter for us. However, what we sell here at the nursery are perennial hibiscus, and they are most definitely cold hardy for us because they are rated from zones 4 to 9. So if you're just northeast of me in Winston-Salem, you're going to be a 7B. Honey, you got no problem. They will come back year after year after year and get bigger and better every single year. So yeah, perennial hibiscus, just make sure that when you're purchasing them, if they're the summerifics from Proven Winners, they're perennial. But Walter's Gardens, who is the perennial grower for Proven Winners, they have, you know, some of their own hibiscus, like Starry Starry Night, that's not part of the Summerific hibiscus series, but is, by all accounts, an amazing plant. I love it. It's gorgeous. It too is a perennial and hardy in zones 4 to 9.
It is.
So just double check when you're buying it, and you should have a tag and you should have information, and it will tell you. Next is Garden Fun with Polly. She says, "Hi, Miss Jenny. Do you deadhead your butterfly bushes? Mine are in bloom but have a good amount of spent cones. Thanks for everything you do for us." So butterfly bushes do bloom on new growth. You can absolutely deadhead them if you want to. You do not have to. That is a complete personal choice. When I have I have pugsters, the vast majority of my butterfly bushes I don't deadhead, because the main thing is it's a time issue for me.
Yeah.
It's a time issue. It will make your butterfly bush look really, really nice though.
We do. We try to do it at retail sometimes.
Right, at retail we try to do it, and then if you remember, we planted some pugster blues at our church, and that's right by the sidewalk. So if it's a high visibility area, then it's a great idea to do it, because it just makes the plant look clean and neat and tidy, but it's not going to affect your flower power on it. Personal choice. You can go either way, but you don't have to. Next is from Ann Hannock. Jenny, do you just sell retail in your nursery, or do you also sell wholesale to other nurseries? It just seems like you have so many plants to sell in just one nursery. So Ann, we are 100% retail. We don't wholesale. We have amazing customers, and
I guess it is, you know, everybody's different, and they go into certain retail. Most retail nurseries are buying from someone that grows plants.
Right, they resell.
So
they're reselling
they will
them.
not have a large inventory. So the advantage of when you come to Creekside is that because we're growing, we have a large inventory to look through or to grab from. You know, so we can keep things easier supplied, and we can have the things that we know that are successful that I just can't get. I have plenty of wholesalers around, but they don't always grow
what we want and what you want.
Or that specific cool new steady as she goes gardenia, or the pillow talk gardenia. Yeah, the pillow talk is going to be sold out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody else has it. I'm the only one that has it.
Right, the Caryopteris, the newest one, Beyond Pink, nobody had that, and now because honestly, it's because of us, those wholesalers are now carrying it, because they are friends of ours. Like, we have wholesale friends, and we're like, listen, guys, grow this plant, you will not be disappointed. And now they are. And so not only can we buy from them, but other nurseries. So it's not only that we're just influencing and what we're growing here, but we're also influencing wholesale nurseries, and so that they can grow.
I don't really know what the question per se to that is. It's just,
well, I think, why do we have so much inventory? And I think she doesn't understand how we can sell all of our product here at the nursery.
Yeah, we just, because we're growing it, we continue to go back to the growing pad, and then we bring it down. We keep it full.
Right.
You know, so we try not to let it dwindle. Now we're letting the greenhouse dwindle down with the annuals, with the buy one get one free. That, you know, because we're coming into pansy, violas, and fall season, so we're trying.
Well, and even like with the Summerifics right now, we're doing buy one get one free, because we know that we have fresh new stock coming in next year.
Yeah. And
we want to get these into your hands and into your garden instead of us having to overwinter them. Just get them into your hands. I mean, just right now, we're sitting on the front porch, right? And so just now, our folks went up to the nursery to go pull more stock to bring down to retail.
It's just a different model that most people don't do. We have the stock here, and we keep it full. So when you see it on video, I mean, we're restocking every day.
When would you say was the last time we got a delivery of plants?
It's been a while. Yeah,
2 months?
It's probably longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the spring.
Right. So here we are mid-August. We haven't had a plant delivery since May.
Yeah. And if we're going to have one, we're going to bring in the things that are unique and different that we are not growing ourselves. You know, like
Right.
fire chief for everybody, for instance.
Sunshine Ligustrums.
Yeah, we don't grow those. We'll get them from the wholesaler and bring them in, and then, you know, we're good to go.
Okay, so a lot of times when we do videos and you're filming me, like for nursery tours or things like that, you are not mic'd up, right? So you're just filming me, but sometimes we have some commentary back and forth. So Vicki wants to know, why not give Jerry a mic so we can hear him?
I think sometimes we just get so busy when we're getting ready to do our routine of our nursery tour. We don't think about it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but sometimes you're like, I don't want to be on a mic. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I don't, you know, especially when we're working. The mic's hard. It's something she has to deal with. So it's you know, if you're working all day and then that thing's hanging out and you got it in your pocket and, you know.
It's not the most comfortable thing to wear for 8 hours.
Right.
When you're sweating.
So, you know, it's a little different, and so that can be for the case when I'm working.
Oh, absolutely.
Now the nursery tour, I just think it's just that we just don't even think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Cece, who we adore Cece. So Cece is an employee of ours, and so she has revolutionized and just been a massive asset to the garden center. And if you've been here within the last couple of months, you have met Cece, and if you know her, you love her just as much as we do. But Cece has, even though we've known Cece for a long time, like way back to our farmers market days, she is a new employee here at the nursery came at the end of the spring, early summer.
Yeah, it's a.
Right, so she's not been through a full year with us. This is where I'm going with this, right? So she, while understands the ebb and flow of a retail garden center, because she's had years of experience with that, this is her first time here with Creekside going through the seasons that we have. So when we started doing the production facility, she was like, oh my gosh, another project. So her comment is not really a question. She says, because why not add something else to the mix? / unofficial Creekside's logo. I love it.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. She was like, I thought our big project was the signature garden. We're like, yeah, it is. But we're going to do this too.
Yeah, and that had been, you know, they don't always know everything that's, you know.
Right, this was not a whim.
Yeah, production greenhouse have been kind of planned out for some time, and things take time to develop and trying to get it ready. And I'll just marinate on it, you know. And,
oh, yeah.
And for months, you know, and it may be, we could have got things rolling 3 months ago, but I was just not really in a hurry to do it.
Well, you and I have been discussing this greenhouse for over a year.
Oh, yeah. Long time.
Yeah.
We put it off one time, you know, and that was a good move.
Yeah.
And then it's at the right time, it seems like right now, to get this done. And then things just sort of kind of happen really quick right there. And the next thing you know, there are trucks here, and, you know, and that kind of took everybody off guard. And, you know, another employee. So was this a spur of the moment? Well, no, it was not. It's like, you know, because we hadn't really talked about it, you know, but it all worked out, you know. Right. So, you know, Jason Cloninger, that helped us with grades and everything, you know, it was just, they were ready. We were ready. It worked out. Let's go. We were getting everything else worked out.
Yeah, but if you've been around, even just watching our videos for any length of time, you know there's not a project going on. There are multiples.
So yeah, last year was the first winter we had, we didn't go, or summer that we didn't go into the winter building a greenhouse in a long time. So, you know, it kind of took a break.
It was due for one.
But we built annex.
Yep. Diane Goldberg says, talking about the production facilities, Diane says, Jenny, how is Proven Winners supporting this new project?
It's interesting, I guess, because she thinks that, you know, because we sell so much Proven Winners and we do so much work with them, that they would help contribute. That would be nice, but that's not the case, you know. But
so how they're supporting this new project, those are like, good job, guys. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, they do.
That's their support.
That's their support, and
there's no financial support.
No. This is all because it's all Creekside.
Yeah, it's all Creekside.
That's our business, and, you know, they can't.
We're autonomous.
Yeah, in which I wouldn't blame them. You know, it's like they're not gonna help me build a greenhouse because I decide to grow other stuff in that greenhouse, you know, so
Right.
that makes no sense.
No, but they are very supportive.
It's interesting.
And they're encouraging. So,
Yeah.
that's how they support.
Yeah.
That is how they support us.
Yeah, they
in that project and all the other projects that we
Yeah.
do. Sometimes they're amazed like everybody else. They're like, "You're doing what? How many things are you doing?" But yeah, so that was kind of the last question for the day.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So let's go back to work.
Very task-oriented man right here.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. So what are you gonna do?
I think I'm going to go. We've had a big issue with our dump truck. So
Like
Andrew,
the work truck.
Yeah, the work truck. Andrew's gone to get that thing finally. It's been gone for 2.5 months. Chevrolet's had a major recall.
Right.
We had to have a wiring harness remanufactured. I'll tell you right there. So he and I were going to do the fiber through the annex. So I'm going to go up there and work on that, get it through so we can go ahead and get IT out here and
Get everybody connected.
get it all connected.
Excellent.
And then after that, there's a big pile of topsoil left up at production. I'm going to spread that out,
Excellent.
maybe.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Our
Go
girl
from there.
leaves for college tomorrow.
Yes. Help
So-
Emily, whatever she needs to be
Yep.
helped
So
with.
that's going to be my goal for the day is I've watered, I've collected eggs, I've fed the chickens, we've done all that good stuff. We've talked to you sweet folks, and so now the rest of my day is devoted to her 100%. Packing the cars, double, triple checking those lists, and because last thing you want to do is, I don't care what university, college you go to,
I don't have to go to
that
the
is
store.
not when you want to go to the stores on move-in day. So
We've already been told there's one Target there.
there's one Target between Clemson,
we're not going to Target.
both Clemson University and Anderson University both share, and they were like, avoid that at all costs. So if we have to go make another run, we'll do it here at home and not down there tomorrow on move-in day when Clemson and Anderson are both moving in the same weekend, and they're about 20 minutes apart from each other. So
Right.
we're going to be very focused and strategic to keep everybody calm, cool, and collected tomorrow as possible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right.
Very good.
So that's it, my friends. As always, we so appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting this wild and crazy life that we have and our business, and those of you that actually can come here and visit us, and then those sweet folks of you that will be ordering from us soon in the future. We appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.